the chief of the welfare officer.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. On the welfare issue so far, one, we have a health insurance program which will be cut across all the sects, which is still in progress. And I will give cost. And this we are going to disseminate this information to every sect on the insurance issue, which is the life insurance policy. For each member to be insured, especially those ones that have interest and those ones that they feel they want to otherwise. So which that one is a progress. In due course, information will get to the every set. Two, there is what we call welfare forms. That's for the ages, sick, and the struggling members. And quick response team for the emergency and the otherwise. Also for the bill, a committee has been set up for the welfare fund, which is led by past president, Daily Martins. And I think that today the committee is supposed to be inaugurated at our AGM, but Mr. President, they leave me 2 more nights on that. Then three, collection and engagement, which is very short, and also visitation program. And we are compiling the list of octogenarians and the non-engineers, which is from 80, 90 and above, for visitation from the ESCO. Four, support and scholarship for children of bereaved or struggling young boys and some kind of donation to the needy students. Only the admin transport, we donate cash and what, just only cash to some students, which later the other things will follow. But for now, this on the 12 or they will be donated some cash to some students. The lifestyle and environment, which therefore I think the president and the president has instructed on the lifestyle and environment, skill building workshop and job career placement support for alumni seeking opportunity. The president has already instructed the general secretary to create a platform of that, which any old or any member that feel that he can showcase his skill, and if there's any job opportunity or anything, that there's a platform for that where you can at least showcase, and if there's any, at least we can really better of that for job opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Quickly moving on to General Secretary's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've shared the executive summary with every member of the general platform. For meetings during the period under review, we held school meetings. We had stakeholders meeting with the school management and also with the chairman board of governors of the school. Also, the president attended some set meetings for collaboration which was documented. And here we are today holding annual convention and Thanksgiving service. On invitations extended during the period of the review, 3 sets, 1 branch sent in invitations which was honored by the ESCO. We have the services here and a memorial service in honor of one of our distinguished old boys celebration and the celebration of life. And we also have the house sport on the school premises on the March 12. For administrative duties, for internal correspondences, this administration has issued 1 condolence message so far. Okay, 2 is what the president issued this morning. We had also issued 8 congratulatory letters. We have been able to issue letters to the Sinari Hall and the project advisors and the project financial advisors of the Sinari Hall. And of course, we have correspondence issued to adult for the celebration of the 148th annual Founders Day celebration. On external correspondences, we actually issued letters introducing the elected ESCO stakeholders, that is the principal, the PCA, the board of governors. We have letters informing our bankers for taking suite of signatories which has also been perfected as at today. And of course, we also in receipt of the annual filings of year 2025 by the lawyer and the distinguished old lawyer as well. Now, part of the regular commitment of the president was the implementation of the WhatsApp rules, which has also been deployed as at 26th of January. And of course, we've also opened a WhatsApp platform for job vacancies as at 4th of February. During this period also, we've actually had calls for other call tenders for association websites and group assurance policies, and I'm happy to report that the ESCO has taken a position on which insurance broker we should work with. Of course, we have been announcements made during this period under review. Our membership data validation shows that we have 25 states, 2 groups, Bristol and Sinari, 3 branches, Abeokuta, Abuja, Ibadan, and 2 chapters, UK, Ireland, and North American chapters. The stock we have of merchandise has inherited from the previous administration. We have 5 officers of the old stock. We have 2 ties. We have 35 brooch and a table cloth. The agreement of the association are currently logged in where we currently don't have access to. And I'm sure by the end of the day, the president is inviting everyone to be able to have a full entry to be able to take stock together. And finally, as the General Secretary, I want to also on this record that I've stated in the ESCO that the need for an administrative secretary is compelling, and I want this house to also take it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, distinguished members of the ESCO. Gentlemen, the AGM is a very important organ of this institution, of this organization. It not only provides us with an opportunity to task the executives that we have elected to hold us accountable and responsible for everything that they have promised we will do. This is such a gathering where you can do that. It's also an opportunity for us to strengthen the bond. It is a forum for us to collectively chart the way forward for the running of our. We did make some promises. We promised you that we will. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry. Yes, after I did this. Thank you very much. I'll just take quick answer to both your questions before we go further with the other gentlemen. Yes, sir. First President, 14th of March is now the day going forward, and it's a constitutional provision. Our constitution says our AGM convention should be held on 14th of March. So we have no say in that. And that will be by God's grace tradition going forward. Thank you. In terms of the data you mentioned, yes, we will clean up our data and ensure we capture crystal groups, secondary group, and all the relevant groups accordingly, and ensure that we have all the forces which you have mentioned. We will clean up that accordingly. Who is responsible for fundraising for the Centenary Hall project? I don't want to steal Mr. Owaje's thunder. Yes, but at least what I can share with our members is that in addition to the Centenary Group Project Committee is comprised of 3 different sets of people. We have the core committee, the active members led by Mr. Abiola Owaje, and some professionals, engineers, architects, builders, etc., who are the core projects, who in a minute will hear what it is doing. We have 4 past presidents who serve as advisors, project advisors, and why they are there is because they are using their past experience when they were presidents, what went right when they were presidents, and lessons they learned to use to support the project committee. So they are also members of that committee in an advisory capacity. Then we have about 20 other members who we have formed in what is called the financial advisors of the Centenary Hall project. They are the financial advisors of Centenary Hall project. If I have some time later on in the minutes, I will read out their names. These are our distinguished members who we believe will be able to not only fund whatever the committee tells us we want to fund, but who can also be a conduit to reach out to, institutional investors and philanthropists across the length and breadth of Nigeria and in diaspora to ensure that whatever the committee recommends to this august body and whatever you as an agent approve as you want to do with your centenary hall, that we can fund this either ourselves or through the help of those institutional investors. So those financial advisors are already, they have already, letters have been given to all of them, 22 of them. I can share one or two names, but time will not permit me to read out the 22 to you. So that is with respect to money. And by God's grace, by the time we are living in March 2028, this building, by special grace of God, will have completed all, we will know where we are going to at least. In case they say they want to do a 12-story building, in case they say they want to do a 12-story building, and it can be completed in 2.5 years. But if it is to revamp and refurbish this, it must certainly be done within a year or year and a half by God's grace. But I don't want to put pressure on you, Mr. Wade. I will let you give us an update in a minute. To Past President Schubert, this hall you mentioned of further improvements. I am agreeing with you. When we came in, you were very hot. In fact, this hall should have air conditioning, to be honest, in addition to speakers you have mentioned. But what I would want us to do in terms of strategic planning, I won't want us to pump in too much more here when we need to rehabilitate that. So our priority is to get that ready and up and running and world class. Then when we finish with that, we can always support the chapel in terms of speakers you have mentioned and ACs. But in the interim, while we continue to use here, I agree with you, and we continue to look for philanthropic sponsors who will make things physically available here. So those speakers, fans will put it on record. I'm sorry? Yes. Yes. Well, Secure Casino is not habitable for now. It's part of what the project committee will be telling us how we are going to return that piece. So let me how to go into that. And then you talk about data. What we do to not drive things that we have, which we are handing over from various administrations to various administrations. What we are going to do in this ESCO, that will be the thing of the past. All our crucial data will be on our website. It will be on the Methodist website. The history of the alumni, everything will be permanently on the website. We will have sections of the website that talks of our history, sets all the philanthropic things we've done, celebrations. The website will be a repository of documentation. We are not saying we are not going to keep things also in our office or secretariat, but the website will be a one-stop shop. Anybody anywhere in the world can be home to that website when it's created. You go there, whatever you want to do, the names of members who left the school 50 years ago, you will find it there, their houses, their profession, where they are now, whatever our data privacy laws allow us to put there, we shall put there. And I'm happy to report that we have so far among the 80 people who put in their bid when we call for request for proposal, we so far shortlisted to 3, and the ESCO in the next week or 2 will choose one website provider who we are going to task to provide a workable website to us within 6 to 8 weeks. We are not going to go beyond 8 weeks, 2 months, for them to come up with a world-class website for this institution. So I think that would in a large regard tackle the issue of data when people are running around asking for who did this, who did that, who said we have everything, and most of it should be documented on the Methodist website. Thank you very much. Any further questions? Insurance. Okay, so on insurance. Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you very much for reminding me. So that question I did speak when I spoke to the 1981 set when they invited me over to their meeting. In fact, this is one of the things they mentioned. And your views, sir, some sets have a different viewpoint. Because some sets already have an existing insurance policy, which is working for them. A lot of them told me that they may not want to join the national insurance pool. This is what they told me when I was preaching that they should support us with our own insurance. They said they already have one that is working for them and their members, and that they don't want to break out. Then I was asking the insurance professionals, can you have two insurance policies? And I was informed that yes, we can have two. So, sir, what I think we should do is we shouldn't discourage the sets who have already started it and who is working for. For example, myself, in 1983 sets, we have a working policy. It's one set, like I said, they have one working. But when we set up our own, if any set wants to join us, they should come and join us. If they want to have the national and their set, it's also okay. You can't over-insure. You can't over-insure. So that, I think, will be the answer to your question, sir. Thank you very much. I think Mr. Daranijo is not here. But sir, can you give us an update on the constitution update? Thank you very much.
Now, good afternoon. So far, the constitution is yet to register at the CAC. What we have done as at January this year was for us to ensure that all the annual returns to make sure that the companies group and also people of the CAC portal added that has been set. So the next stage now is for us to now apply for the constitution to be registered as amended. But the release are there. Why we don't do that step? The CAC currently operates an online portal that has a limited amount of functions that can be done outside what was initially declared on the portal. So for us to get our constitution, we have to get the special consideration from the CAC in Abuja. As soon as I'm able to get the modality for that, I will let the SO to the outlet so that we can take that step. Well, we are already outside the time when we are beginning the amendment. And part of the requirement is that there will be a need for us to circularize and advertise the amendment with national TV and wait for about 28 days so that we can manipulate the process properly. I will address this accordingly. In fact, part of the question is that the amendment that we want to effect will have to be advertised properly before it can be done as well. So I think what we have done so far is inchoate. We can more or less go back to the drawing board and set right. That's what we have. I will not want to kind and present, but at least the fundamental part of it, the annual returns are all in place, so we can see from there. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, gentlemen, thank you very much for that. And thank you, Mr. Schubert, for bringing it to my attention. We cannot have distinguished lawyers and members of this institution at this alumni, not least the president standing before you, and who have an issue with the presentation of CAC documents. It's what I do every day for a living. And to start at this point, we can easily apply for submission of documents manually at the CAC pre-register. I will take it upon myself after this meeting. I will call you and I will speak with my fellow members who will look into this. I promise you, standing there, that in the next 3 months, by the time we are giving our 6 month report, bearing any unforeseen circumstances beyond our control, that constitution will have been registered. I want it to be on record. By the time we are 6 months in, the constitution will have been registered. ESCO, please hold us, and we're going to hold ourselves accountable to that charge. It's not nothing difficult to register our constitution. So whatever the processes are, registration for the days, national newspaper, signing, publication, whatever we need to do, we shall do.
I just want to ask this because it has been a topic of discussion in another alumni that I belong to, and perhaps this alumni can benefit from it. The annual dues and the insurance, is there a way you could make it complementary or combined that those who pay annual dues of a certain amount immediately access the insurance scheme? It's an ongoing conversation with an alumni body that I belong to, and people, I may say, I thought was very open to it. As a matter of fact, we see the effect that people are now more open to contributing the annual dues because of all the other benefits attached, specifically insurance and non-service. Could that be looked at? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. So, very quick answer. It's doable, yes. It's doable. We know the annual dues are 12,000 naira currently. The insurance, like I mentioned, is going to be about 30,000, or 700. Let me say 31,000. So, what we can do is when we are announcing, but we know the only problem we have is that we can't make it compulsory. The insurance we can't make compulsory. We can't. Annual dues, even though the constitution says all members should pay, it's still not compulsory. If you don't have the annual dues, for example, I can't tell you not to attend the AGM. It's the association. So what we will do is we will announce it simultaneously when we are publicizing payment for annual dues. Pay 12,000, pay 30, whatever thousand. If you want to combine those, you can do it. But if we say pay 42,000, for example, together and make it compulsory, some might say they are not interested in insurance, and we can't force them to do that. So we have to be careful. But in terms of disseminating that information, I think it makes very good sense to couple them together so that people can plan appropriately. In myself, for example, in the degree sets, we do the two together. We collect the money at the same time. When we are collecting our annual 12,000, we are collecting also 31,000 for insurance at the same time. And so people pay, they put annual dues, insurance, and we do that same person. So I think it's good we can do that as well in this case. And I want to use this opportunity to thank all various sets and all the chapters who have assisted the national body in collecting the annual dues at the set level. So it's also another thing we can do. You can help us collect the national dues when you are collecting your own set dues. So collect your set dues and collect annual dues on our behalf and transmit it to us. Abuja chapter did that, thank you. The UK, Ireland chapter has done that, thank you very much. And we're expecting other sets to do so. Can someone please have a look online if you have any questions online? Zoom operators, can you check if there are any questions in the box so we can quickly attend them? Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. Piotr. I'm of the system. My question is in respect of the insurance. So there are two categories of insurance to talk about: the HMO and the life insurance. I happen to be a practitioner in the insurance industry, so I am rightfully interested in that. Now, it's a simple question because I know it can be a bit complex doing a policy for so many things. So I think I will leave that to the back group to work out what modalities that will take. However, I want to know, do we have a timeline for this to happen? Because I think I did hear you say that there's already a proposal to have a 5 million sum assured, right? As a cap for willing members who want to be part of it. So what I want to know is how soon are we going to replace this? Because my presence here is also sort of giving feedback to my colleagues what has transpired there. Even if they didn't send it, but by way of information, I can transmit it to them. So are we looking at a particular timeline so that we can tidy up?
Thank you very much, Aditya. Thank you. And thank you for your support in the process behind the scenes to navigate various positions from various insurance companies. So like I mentioned, we did get about 8 various positions and the ESCO painstakingly reviewed it. And like I said, for the life insurance or assurance, whatever you call it, we have narrowed it down to Prudential Center. In the next 2 weeks, we shall be communicating with our members, informing them of those who will be interested in taking us. 2 weeks for that one. For the HMO, we are not yet there yet. For the HMO, we are not yet there yet because that is a bit complex. So what I can say in terms of timeline is that in the next 1 month, we will probably have finalized with the HMO. But for the life insurance, in the next 2 weeks, our members will already be asking our members to subscribe because we've already identified the insurance company that we want to use. We just be telling them how much they have to pay and when they have to pay it, and then we start that scheme in earnest. Also, there is a bit of restriction with informing our members. That insurance scheme is up to the age of 70 years old, and we know that we have members above that category. So we tried, in fact, this is why it took some time. We tried to stretch a lot of insurance companies go beyond the age of 70. And of course, they told us that after 70, as if to say, they are just giving up their own money. That after 70, they don't take such insurance claims. However, one of them said that they can insure from age 70 to 80, but the premium is 60,700 naira. So we will also do that before our members who are between the ages of 70 to 80. If they are willing to pay the 60,000 plus, we will also do a special one for them for that insurance company. In fact, it's only one insurance company that agreed to take up that risk. For those of our members who are above the age of 80, we shall keep them in our prayers. No insurance for them, but we shall continue to keep those ones in our daily insurable prayers with our word of mouth. Thank you very much. Any questions online? Any questions online?
Online.
Nothing in the chat box. Does anyone put up their hands to talk? Okay, thank you very much. Are there any other questions here? Very quickly, I want us to move to. Okay, sir. And then when you are finished, sir, please pass the mic to Barrister Ward, Mr. Ward, to please give us an update on the seminar of
I don't know whether I reached out or not. Are we using the program for the group life? Okay. Because it makes us stronger. Thank you.
Not today. I'd like to start on the listening protocol. Just very briefly, we've reports on the activities of the Sinari Hall Committee. And the chairman of the committee, the alternate chairman, Ambassador Kolani, and the secretary of the committee, Dr. Sinari, Dr. Sinari. The number of us in the committee met together had discussions on the terms of reference given to us, which is basically to assess the building next to us in the secondary hall, find out what the current status of the hall is, find out whether it's still structurally sound, whether or not it needs to be put down based on our findings, or whether or not we can publish or be a combination of the two. And in addition to that, we were later asked to look at the secretariat, which is adjoining the secretariat hall itself. Myself and members of the committee came to have a walk around, had a look at the building. We were in the committee itself. We had the structural engineer, civil engineer, and some architects. And we had a look through the building itself. The ambition, the most important one, is that the building is structurally sound. We didn't find any cracks on the wall at all. We didn't find any structural defects that will indicate that the building is under distress. So what the committee concluded is that we just need to try and complete the refurbishment that is going on. It was started by people color controversy. So we have gone the next stage, which is to assess the drawings, the structural drawings that was federal drawings of the building, and the technical people of the committee itself as the structural engineers and so on. Together with the second walk around, we observed that there are some current issues with some of the construction going on. It's not too clear whether it's because of the exposure to the elements over the number of years of construction of these buildings, but that we can see that the exposed process over there are not 100% complete. There's some disciplines there. And the fact that the suggestion of having long span roofing as opposed to the previous type of roofing which was initially thought means that some more work needs to be done with the process itself. And aside from that, we also need to do some work with the plastering, and the first floor over there has some slight issues with the pillars that were erected. So all of these things that I mentioned can be corrected, and we can ultimately so that then look at what the hall is going to be used for. Now we are in the second stage of assessment of the building, which is to approaching our stakeholders, that is all members, and also the school itself, regarding the uses, what we intend the hall to be used for. So on the basis of what we intend the hall to be used for, whether it's going to be purely for school uses alone, whether it's going to be a combination of commercial use and some of the school use, and even if we're going to use for commercial use, whether it's going to be just within the school periods, restricted commercial use, all these kind of things which we put in consideration. And then that will now give us the full information on what we're going to be doing regarding the period. And once that is observed and collated together, we'll then be able to get the quantity surveyor to come up with POP, actual POP, which needs to be updated from when the hall was initially, the publication of the hall was initially started. So on the basis of this POP, we will then have a clear idea of how much is required to complete this hall, and then we'll be approaching the fundraising itself through the executives regarding the targets that we are looking at. And one of the things we also advise is that we should at least raise a minimum of 50% of the projected cost to build the building before we start work at all. That is to avoid the stop-start challenges that we had in the past. So we have a deadline to submit a final report today. In terms of the task that we're doing, we are still ahead of the schedule, and we need to continue with that. and submit our report in time. Thank you very much. Sorry, Mr. Wari, just waiting for you in case there are questions for the committee. Do we have any questions both here or online for the chairman of the Centenary Hall Committee, Barrister Shobatu?
Thank you. For raising of funds, smart proposing and your proposing. It's not always all the time when you say, okay, we want to raise 100% or we want to raise 80% that we will get to that volume. But you have to be very intentional about who are the people that are giving 1 million naira that can even not raise, or those that can give like 10 million that we can afford. But I guess that might not be your thought for the committee decided. But what I just want to emphasize is that you see, I don't see anything wrong in saying, okay, we need this amount for this stage of the project. Yes, very good is the number one. I want to raise 100 million or 200 million or 1 million or whatever. So after you get that, then you now begin to pilot it in terms of stages. Okay, this is what I want to do for this day. Can I complete it? Because Rome was not built in a day. So I guess that's the way we tackle it, instead of waiting the 80% before you start everything on it. That's what, and then there's what qualification. And that's why I don't believe in DOP. I believe in DOP just for safety. Because once the point is DOP to the end, when you're going to review and then go back again and all of that. That's the way I always approach it. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution, which are very, very valid. Of course, one of the things you need to be considered when you are looking at this public institution is the understanding that in this day and age, raising funds is a huge challenge for any group, any society, and so on. So we are trying as much as possible to not wear rose tinted glasses thinking that we're going to get 500 million or 1 billion just like that will drop. Yes, of course, when this is being done, it will be safe as well, that okay, this is what we intend to do, this thing and so on. But I think the intention of doing it, not out to care about it, is that whatever stage that we bring, whether it is one of these or completion of this thing, we must at least have 80% or to complete that stage before we complete it. Thank you very much. Can I have a resounding round of applause for the chairman of the building committee and the committee members? Thank you for the hard work. Thank you for all you do to our engineers, to our builders, to the technical guys, to the structural guys, to our architects. I'm getting daily feedback of all the hard work you're doing. I see some people online. Thank you very much for all your support. By special grace of God, we shall get it right with this building project. With all your support. We're going to very quickly move on to the next item on the agenda, which is election or constitution of committees. Now, I'm using this word advisedly. It's not really an election per se, because the Constitution has given the ESCO powers to set up the committees. But there are about 3 or 4 members of these committees that the Constitution says the AGM should nominate or should vote for. Sorry. So we have nominated, we have gone up to the whole alumni and look for members who are round pegs in round holes or square pegs in square holes, and we're presenting them to you today to vote for them to be members of this committee. So I will go through their names in a minute, and I will just be asking us to vote for them in a minute. But before I do that, I just wanted us to quickly look at the membership of the. So very quickly. I will start the management subcommittee. This is a statutory subcommittee. The membership are already fixed by the constitution. There's nothing anybody can do about it. The constitution says that the president, my good self, shall be the chairman of the management subcommittee. Our constitution says my vice president one, associate professor Julius Eyakubu shall be the member or a member. It says Mr. Olabu Elias, vice president two shall be a member. It says Prince Ademola Ashaye, vice president three shall be a member. It says Mr. Olusola Keru, the general secretary shall be a member. And it says Mr. Wasiu Kareli, the treasurer shall be a member. So those are your management subcommittee as stipulated by our constitution. Education subcommittee. We are proposing for Professor Babatunde Soya to be the chairman, Professor Mustafa Ojo to be a member, Mr. Oladapo Yusuf, Mr. Olada Williams, Mr. Kanki Olulama, and Mr. Francis Beckley to be members. If there are anybody opposed to those, and we have those opposing raise up their hands, and we think that those who don't raise up their hands have already approved. Those who are opposing those members of the original subcommittee to kindly indicate. Thank you very much. Educational subcommittee is hereby constituted. School traditions, culture, and social subcommittee. Mr. Kolako Showetu is proposed to be our chairman. He is the past president of this illustrious body. Associate Professor Julius Eyakubu, vice president one. Prince Demola Ashaye, vice president three, are both bound by the constitution to be members. They have no choices in the matter. The other members are Prince Olajide Emeju, social secretary. He is also enjoined by the constitution to be members. I'm sorry, brother, you have no choice. You have to be a member. Now, those who this August AGM are going to elect. So you can either say yes or no to the names I want to read out. Mr. Wale Parayo.
Good afternoon. My name is Daranijo. All these names that you are reading out, have we discussed with them or contacted them to find out if they probably have the time to know and all that? Has that been done?
It's a very good question, sir. It's a very good question. I will tell you that 95% of them have been contacted because most of them were nominated by our members. 95%, but I must confess about 5% of them have not been contacted. And I know it's a very good point because some of them may decline, right? But it's our hope and desire, and we discuss it at the expo, that anyone who a body of peers has nominated to serve on their expo committee should not decline such a position. If your members have asked you to please take time out of the busy schedule to try to work towards the progress of this institution, except their fundamental reasons why you cannot do so, it is our expectation that some members will accept. But to the question you asked me, 95% were considered, were consulted, 5% not yet. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for that suggestion. Yes, yeah, among the 5%. Thank you very much. No problem. Although having said that, Past President, I did call you, you may have forgotten a month ago. I discussed this with you. I told you that I was going to be. Okay, yes, that one has. Okay, sir. Okay, no problem. So for our Past President, because the Constitution says that these committees must be headed by past presidents. And we don't currently have more than 7 or 6 that at least are active members or past presidents. So we have a limited pool to go to meetings. So the ESCO, in their wisdom, decided to trust on yourself and a few other presidents. No, to be honest, the ESCO. Because, like I said, the constitution says they must be chaired by past presidents. I didn't have the constitution. It's our members that drafted the constitution. In their wisdom, they must know something to do. You see now, the man who drove the vehicle of constitution is not the one that doesn't want to abide by the same constitution. But your subject, your thoughts are well known. Your thoughts are well known. Your thoughts are well known. And we are hoping that once we take the votes, if you are voted in, you will not. And then you have a very good vice whom you can always rely on to work with you and not to work with you. The vice president one and vice president 2 and social secretary. So I'm going to list out other members: Mr. Wale Wanairo, Mr. Mutiu Lawal, Mr. Batula Salafa Olagule, Mr. Chidi Obasi, and Mr. Levi Omena. Distinguished old ones. Distinguished old ones, do I have or does this house have your consent to have these members of this distinguished school as members of the school tradition, culture, and social subcommittee? Can I have those who are in support raise up their hands? Those who are in support of those names are raised out as members of the committee. Those who are in support. School tradition, culture, and social subcommittee. Mr. Kolako Oshokwatu, Associate Professor Julius Oyamuku, Prince Ademola Ashaye, Prince Olakide Enugu, Mr. Wale Fadaro, Mr. Mutu Lawal, Mr. Batula Salafa Olakide, Mr. Chidi Obasi, Mr. Levi Omiana. Anybody opposed? Any opposition? Thank you very much. We have a constitutional school tradition cultural social committee. Yes, you can give them a round of applause. Fourth subcommittee. The constitution says that the vice president one shall be the chairman of that committee. So you have no choice. Associate Professor Julius Oyamuku chairman, Mr. Tolu Kubita member, Mr. Ensign Williams Dexter member, Mr. Adiola Odenide member, Mr. Olalekan Owóẹ̀yẹ member. Those in support, can we have you raise up your hands, please? The first one, Mr. Associate Professor Oyamuku, is a constitutional position, so that one nobody has a choice. The constitution prepared by Vice President.
It will keep me fit. Because it's not realistic.
No, it's sports.
You'll be very fit.
Thank you. Do we have anyone opposing any member of our committee? Thank you very much, Victor. Can we have a round of applause for our sports committee, which has been duly constituted by this media? We now move on very quickly to welfare and membership subcommittee. This is very important for all of us. It's for our members as welfare. If you know any of them and they are stingy, one hour, please think very well before you elect them as members of our welfare committee. They might not take care of us very well. So we are proposing for past president, Mr. David Martin, to be the chairman. Also, the constitution says that committee must be chaired by a past president. Constitutional provision. So we have nominated past president David Martin. Then also it says the vice president 1, vice president 3, and the welfare officer must be members of that committee. It's in our constitution, so they have no choice. Then the other members, welfare and membership.
So it means that we must have a past president as chairman, and then four members of the ESCO must be members. The vice president one, vice president three, welfare officer one, and financial secretary. So they are all statutory members. The members that we are going to elect, the constitution also says that a member of the alumni who is an accountant, one member who is an accountant must be a member. So we are proposing as that accountant, Mr. Godfrey Eventalele. He was also a member of this alumni institution. Then we are proposing Mr. Gazali Latif and Mr. K. Agbeyeye. Mr. K. Agbeyeye, Mr. Gazali Latif, Mr. Sorry, gentlemen, understand that Mr. Galadani is one of our members who is serving us recently. So I do step down that thing. We will propose another name because the so relevant. Amen. So, ladies and gentlemen, do I have anyone who is opposing these names to be our members of our welfare and membership subcommittee? If we have anybody who's opposing, can we have your names, your hands up and give us a reason why? Opposing. So I'm taking it that the rest of us are voting for these members. Okay, that's a good point. Do we want to nominate any member of the alumni to replace Mr. Gazali Latif to be a member of this welfare membership committee? Any nominations of volunteers? Yes, distinguished members.
I'm not nominated to replace that person, but if the constitution requires that a chartered accountant be a member, I'd like to suggest that we put two. And the reason is because if one is not available, chances that the other will be available. And if the treasurer is not on that committee, I would like to suggest that his name should be added. If it's there already, it's okay.
Thank you very much. We have one suggested nomination to replace Mr. Gazali. Do we have any others?
So not here, I'd like to nominate Taiwan Louis. What's that? Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to nominate Sheila Okudi. 1981.
Okay, so gentlemen, just in the interest of time, we have two nominees, but one slot. So we're going to take a quick vote. Who is seated on my right? Please can you stand up for our application. I think we have to do a very quick vote. For those who want to start, please keep standing. For those who want so the constitution has stipulated the numbers. Yes, constitution has stipulated the numbers. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. So as much as possible, we would like to stick with our constitution. Thank you. I also would like this kind of election, especially at home, that will also sit on appeal. But we pray that we shall not have any disputes which may warrant us taking ourselves to the historic committee. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, ladies. I didn't want to open Thank you, gentlemen. I will pause at the moment. I want the secretary to quickly read out the names of the members of our financial advisors who are going to be supporting this centenary hall event. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. The project financial advisors has constituted for the centenary hall committee in no particular order. One, Abimbola Ọ̀dẹ́rìndé, Àrẹ̀mọ Olúṣẹ́gun Ọ̀ṣọ́bà, Sir Dr. Ọmọ́túndé Ògúnlájà, Chief Túndé Fánímọ́kù, Patron Fabian, Dr. Dike Olúkọ̀yà, Mr. Fọlá Adéọlá, Mr. Yinka Adéọlá, Mr. Dr. Sulaimon, Honourable Bayo Balogun, Dr. Tunji Olówólabẹ́, Sir Greg Ẹ̀dáòrò, Mr. Ṣùpọ̀ àti John SAN, Mr. Debo Ṣodipọ, Architect Rẹ̀mí Àjọṣe Adéolú, Engineer Bayo Olúkitọ́lá, Mr. Rotimi Oyekan, Architect Ọláwọlé Ọ̀kẹ́, Dr. Yinka Nancy, Mr. Ṣọlá Àlàbá, Mr. Adéwálé Abíọ́dún, and not the least Dr. Temidayo Ọbáyọ̀mí. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, this list is not exhaustive. Gentlemen, if you are aware of anyone who would like to join and become a project financial advisor, please indicate. We will add you to the list of distinguished gentlemen who shall be not only trying to raise funds from amongst themselves, like I said, but also being able to reach out to banks, financial institutions, institutional investors, philanthropists, etc., etc. They will come up with their think tank of how we can raise funds to ensure this project becomes a reality. Thank you very much. We are quickly moving on to AOD, and the very first item of AOD, there will be the donation of some items by one of our sets, and I'll call upon them at this time to take the floor and present whatever they want to present to the school and others. Can we give them a round of applause? So you introduce yourself and then we take it from there.
Once again, my name is Daranijo, and we are from set 95, and we have some sports jerseys and then open your yes, the students of
Thank you very much. 95 cents. God bless you. God enrich and enlarge your pocket. Mighty name of Jesus. We shall, I'm hoping that we use them as a point of contact to other sets. We know you guys are doing a fantastic job. In fact, if you look at the brochure for the Father's Day, I was immensely proud. The many things that our old girls are doing for the school. I know some record already that 95% of what we have on ground here was donated by Methodist school. Fantastic school, fantastic old boys. We deserve a round of applause. Do we have any other business to? Yes, sir. Please, can we come to the
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I think if we leave this all today and nothing said about our case, we might not have a good feedback for those that are not going to be here. So I think it's good for us to know the update, what we are achieving, what we are planning towards. That is one. Two, we are going to having a quarterly general meeting. Is this still on? Are we going to do that process? Thank you.
Thank you very much. On the school land matter, so gentlemen, like I mentioned, that we are going to defend that school land matter vigorously. For those who don't know, there's currently an injunction in the case, which is why the church or the developers have abandoned that land. So the court has said nobody should go there, no developments whatsoever, until the substantive matter is right. So currently, nobody can go there, nobody should disturb status quo ante, right? So no development ongoing. The case is coming up for trial on Monday, next tomorrow. It's coming up for commencement of trial. We are starting trial, and we are going to start by reading evidence of this. The school has two witnesses. My good self, I'm going to be PW1, which is our prosecution witness 1. Last week, I was at the lawyer's office. I was there for 4 hours undergoing the trial conference. They grilled me for 4 hours, preparing me for what I can expect to happen on Monday. So, I'm going to be the first witness, by virtue of the fact that I'm your president. I'm going to be the first witness. The second witness that the lawyers have chosen is Afan Moko, also because he was the instrument of getting that original COO from the Lagos State Ministry, and which was given to the Methodist Brothers School Lagos. So he understands how things work at the ministry. So the lawyers have said he's going to be a competitive witness. So they are choosing him to be the second witness who will give evidence. So we hope that on the 16th Monday, and I believe it's 19th Thursday, the 2 days set down for trial, that we will take what is called our examination in chief, where our own lawyers will be asking the two of us questions. Then when they finish, the defendants, that is the church, JS Wesley, and the Lagos State government, etc., would have an opportunity to ask us questions. That's what we call cross-examination. And the lawyers have advised us that that will also be very tricky. Because under cross-examination, they can ask you any question under the sun. They can go into my history and look at who was my girlfriend in secondary school and try and use it to embarrass me in the case. They can ask anything under the sun during cross-examination, as long as it's not obviously something which is the lawyers use one word. But anyway, they have prepared me as much as possible for what will happen at the trial. Now, when hopefully we will go through Monday and Thursday, there will be no adjournments on those days. Then the other side will also open their case. We don't know how many witnesses they may want to call, so we can't tell them to hurry up. They may take 1 day, they may take 2 days, they may take 3, 4, 5. If they want to call 100 witnesses, it is their own defense, and they can call as many witnesses as they like. So we know that litigation takes some time, but the good news is that we are starting the substantive matter on Monday. By the special grace of God, God keep us all alive. Victory and success shall be ours in Jesus' precious name. Amen. Now, having said so, there are no adversaries in this case. Now, I say this, and I say this with utmost respect, with due sense of responsibility. This is just a dispute on a land matter. We are not fighting the church. We are not fighting individuals or the hierarchy of the church. We are not fighting anybody, and I want to believe they are not fighting us as individuals as well. This is a case simply on principles on the land and what we believe the old boys believes it should have land to be used for. The church has a different view. So on the principles of the land case, that's what has taken up the church. We are not opponents of the church. We are not enemies of the church. We are not fighting the church in any way. So please let us be very respectful in our utterances, in what we say, and what we discuss about the whole matter. Also, let us be aware, once a matter is in court, that matter becomes something different. In other words, you cannot talk about what is going on in court in public. We have to be very careful as well. Let us be very careful, and the Lord shall keep all of us in one place. Thank you very much. The Honorable Secretary will now, on the church case, just on the church, on general question.
Non-citizens. Jima Daranijo, Jima Daranijo, Chairman, 2007. My question was a suggestion of that. So if I recall when the constitution was about to be amended, there was some suggestion that was made back then. And I will recall myself as well. We are the one that rose to the constitutional justice committee on the matter of the AGM, the week or the month of the Manga week. But I have a suggestion. You could have said that or get there because when the people was asked if the know that now March will now be the new people in and I can see that the adopting concords with that. But recently, I can see that there are a lot of comparisons because one of the reasons why we make that suggestion back was that we do compare with other levels schools that the Peace College and others, and we really take advantage in some of these gatherings. And I can see that virtually everybody from Peace College Lagos know that the month of September, probably from the 4th or the 9th of September, down to 20 is for case study. And I have a lot of persons and colleagues that month, not is for the case study, is for Peace College. People to go to college, they do that yes as well. I think same process, second college and other. I want to suggest because I was trying to do that in the demonstration position. We for the agent. So because our suggestion then was that let now a week back another piece probably a piece before they already after. We can set aside a week for this activity. One of the things I have is where we have every open all 4,000. This was the people from order. That's why you can see, you don't necessarily that we have our beginning of whatever in this. The Kobe College, I forgot that was doing the Babuga. As I did that was a child that we used and it was also like family, people family, I think I could recall. Actually, the one that we have was last year, and the same Babuga was sponsored by them. So, we can even start some of our well-known and there will be a sponsor for them. So this is now the question. Don't let us as students that we could have a separate basis for all this has to do right. First.
What's your name again? Jimo, what's that? 2000, thank you very much for that wonderful submission. I'm really glad to hear that you are also involved in the constitutional review process many years ago. It shows that you are a very committed alumni. Thank you for all you do. So I just looked at the provision of the constitution again, and yes, the constitution says that we should have annual convention at AGM to coincide with the Founders Day week. And we know the Founders Day is always 14th of March. That is the Founders Day every year long. So Constitution says convention, AGM, Father's Day, and we know also the scriptures, interhouse court, etc. So we can have that period as that week to have various activities. For example, you know we had our career day yesterday, career talk. In fact, we are going to have a football match on Tuesday as part of the 1 week long activity. So I agree with you, we should have the whole 1 week long activity. And to your point, it doesn't have to be here in the school. We'll have it depending on what the committee comes up with, such that everybody knows that the second week of March, Methodist High School, for 1 week, is activities galore. In a minute, the secretary is going to read out our plans for this year. The calendar will already agreed for 2026. There's one thing there that we see, which I think we will hold in November, which we want to introduce, this ESCO wants to introduce, aside from all these activities which we do. We want to start something called a gala night award ceremony. Like, it will be the biggest thing in the calendar for Methodist School. It will be an event that, of course, we're not going to even use this seminar or it is too small for us, even when we do this. We'll have everybody in attendance. We invite other schools who will come and take tables, we can sell to them, we will be represented. We will have our UK chapter coming. We have our North American chapter coming. We have various sets have their tables. We invite 2 tables or 1 table, whatever it is. Then we start to celebrate ourselves. We start to give awards to all those who have distinguished themselves in various sectors of the Nigerian economy. We start to give awards to people who are giving back to the school. We start to develop our mentors. We will also celebrate ourselves in various ways on that day. It will also be an opportunity to raise funds for some of the infrastructure development projects we have in the school, and many other things that we can do at such an event. Recognize, call the school, recognize students, recognize individuals, and recognize ourselves as old boys for all we've done. Hopefully, if we can start it as an ESCO this year, we believe that subsequent administrations will take it to another level, so that if you know what people call a does, they have something similar they do in November every year. And I see a lot of our members, they are very quick to post on their MBHS platform. This is what people call it. This is what's exactly. But when you call them to come for AGM or convention, they don't come. When you tell them to pay annual fees, they don't come. But they want us to be like Tony. They will start showing us pictures of Mr. Cardoso speaking at the AGM. We have our AGM today, but we have distinguished members, the general channels, they are here. We have the Mr. Motions, we have distinguished members. But we are not supporting ourselves. We are not celebrating ourselves. Nobody is celebrating. We have to celebrate ourselves. We are all very distinguished members. So, guys, we will build our alumni association. We will start to rebuild ourselves. We will start to give ourselves value. And in the next few weeks, months, years, other schools will be comparing themselves to Methodist School Alumni Association. We are going to be ending this meeting in 5 minutes. Before we leave, I would like the secretary to remind us of the rest of the activities that we have earmarked for 2026. So, ladies and gentlemen, please pay particular attention to the activities lined up for you.
Thank you, Mr. President.